The cold seeps into you. You open your eyes. Darkness still clings here. A fire breathes embers. Your family stirs around you. A child coughs in sleep. Your belly growls with need. Another day to survive. Then an alarm screams. A different kind of cold. You open your eyes. A screen glows with light. The numbers dictate your life. You are completely alone. The shower is a ritual. The coffee is a drug. The commute is a battle. A cage of metal, glass. Faces you will never know. Then you arrive at work. Another box, another screen. The clock on the wall. It owns every second. This is your great hunt. But what did they do? Before the clock existed. Before the scheduled day. Before the job was born. What filled their long hours? What was their purpose? They woke with the sun's first light. No jarring sound to break the dawn. Just the world waking up with them. Their work was woven into the world. It wasn't a place they had to go. It was the air they were breathing. It was the ground beneath their feet. You check your email for the 10th time. A spreadsheet stares back, cold and dead. Your boss sends another urgent request. Your body aches from sitting so still. A deep, ancestral restlessness begins to stir. Your genes remember a different kind of day. They remember the weight of a spear. They remember the search for clean water. They remember the taste of wild berries. They remember the stories told by firelight. They did not have jobs to attend. They had a life that demanded living. They did not punch a clock for pay. They worked to see the next sunrise. They worked to feed the ones they loved. They worked to understand the great mystery. So what did they do all day long? They tracked the seasons in their bones. They followed the ancient animal pathways. They learned the language of the forest. They were becoming human, moment by moment. The sun climbs higher, warming the cool earth beneath your bare feet. You gather nuts and roots, a quiet rhythm of provision and plenty. Children's laughter echoes through the trees, not confined by walls or schedules. There is no rush, no deadline, just the patient unfolding of the day. You eat when you are hungry, sharing what the world has offered you. Then, a fresh track in the mud, a silent call to the great hunt. You and your kin move as one, a fluid shadow on the savannah. Your legs are engines of endurance, built for a chase across endless miles. The sun beats down, a relentless hammer, but you do not stop moving. You read the animal's fear, its exhaustion, in the dust it kicks up. Your spear feels like a part of your own arm, an extension of your will. Hours pass in a blur of dust, sweat, and a single, burning focus. This is not sport or cruelty, it is the sacred dance of survival. The great beast finally falls, a sacrifice that will sustain your entire band. You feel a deep, primal gratitude for the life that has been given. The afternoon heat settles in, a time for rest in the cool shade. You nap when your body tells you, listening to its ancient, wise signals. Grooming, touching, mending tools, the quiet work of maintaining the social fabric. There is no loneliness here, only the constant, warm hum of your tribe. You watch the elders chip flint, their hands moving with practiced, patient grace. You learn by watching, by doing, by being present in the moment. There is no separation between your work, your life, your play, your rest. Everything flows together in one unbroken stream of purpose and belonging, day after day. The sun begins its slow descent, painting the vast sky in fiery colors. The smell of roasting meat rises, a promise of nourishment and community gathered. Around the fire, faces glow as stories of the ancestors are told again. You drift into your first sleep, the fire crackling like a steady heartbeat. Waking in the deep night, you gaze at a dense, silent blanket of stars. This quiet, waking interval is for thought, for love, for silent communion. Then you return to your second sleep, sinking deeply until the coming dawn. And this perfect rhythm continued for thousands upon thousands of generations, an unbroken chain of being. Then, just 10,000 years ago, a blink in deep time, you discover a trick. You learn to plant a single seed and make it grow a field of grain. It feels like a miracle, a way to conquer the uncertainty of the wild world. You settle down, trading the open plains for a fence, a field, a permanent home. The first harvest brings a surplus you've never known, a mountain of golden security. But this security has a hidden, terrible price you are not yet prepared to pay. More food means more mouths to feed, and the population begins to quietly, relentlessly swell. Your single field becomes 10 fields, then 100, demanding ever more of your labor. The freedom of the chase is replaced by the endless, back-breaking toil of the harvest. You are eating more, but you are less healthy, your diet now dangerously narrow and poor. Your bones grow weaker, your teeth begin to rot from all the starchy grain. Crowded settlements become a breeding ground for diseases that your ancestors never had to face. Your average height shrinks, and your life expectancy tragically plummets by nearly 2 decades. This is the birth of property, of hoarding, and the very first echoes of warfare. This is the birth of the specialist, the priest, the soldier, the king, the tax collector. This is the moment your life is cleaved in two, the time you work and the time you don't. This is the dawn of the job, a task you perform not for survival, but for someone else. You are no longer working with the world, you are now working to subdue and control it. The vibrant, unpredictable dance becomes a monotonous, grinding march from dawn until painful dusk. You stare at your screen now, the fluorescent lights humming a pale, artificial song above you. You are saving your money, sacrificing your youth, for a distant dream called retirement. You are working tirelessly for a future where you can finally stop working and just live. You are killing yourself for the chance to reclaim the freedom your ancestors simply had. That lazy afternoon nap, the time with family, the freedom from a schedule or a boss. The life you dream of for your final years was their ordinary, everyday, unremarkable reality. You traded the spear for the spreadsheet, the open savanna for the confining, grey cubicle walls. They had less stuff, but they possessed a wealth you can barely even begin to imagine. They owned their time, their bodies, their days, their lives in a way you never will. You traded the profound richness of a lived existence for the illusion of comfortable security. Was it the worst mistake in the entire, long, and storied history of the human race? For more stories from our deep past, subscribe and join the journey back to ourselves.